Hello and welcome to this Simply Naturals business presentation. We're about to discover the inside track on a company with a short history but with already a phenomenal rate of growth. The reason for this is underpinned particularly by its core product, as you'll find out, which is creating quite remarkable stories of people experiencing quite remarkable benefits. So without further ado, let's find out a little bit more about the business. As you can see, the company is British owned and is based in Surrey, but the particular relevance here is the experience of the management team. It's not just in standard corporate management that these guys know what they're doing. In a previous incarnation, they, using the same business model that they've now put into Simply Naturals, created a business in the UK alone that generated in excess of 200,000 customers. Now that is a huge degree of success. So it's that knowledge, that expertise, that knowing how to make this work that they've brought into this business, which is what sets it apart. In addition, they've created a policy of being 100% debt-free, which means that as we're fast moving, we can move when we want, introduce new products, enter new countries, etc., not beholden to anybody else who might have a hand on the purse strings. The mission of this company is also what sets it apart. It's not about turnover, it's not about profit. It is about educating people about the fundamental benefits of plant-derived minerals and the impact they have on our health and our well-being. The company itself is committed to producing a portfolio of the most potent nutritional products that you can get anywhere on the planet, based around our plant-derived minerals. And our first significant goal is that by 2020, we will have 1 million families that are benefiting from the immense health rewards of taking plant-derived minerals. Okay, so this is what all the fuss is about. Sizzling Minerals, as the product is called, arrives in a box exactly like this one. And as you can see, we state that it's a life-changing health product. This is not a glib phrase that we're just casually throwing in here. If, for instance, you've been struggling with low energy, tiredness, chronic fatigue, something like that, and you take these and you're energized, that is life-changing. If you've been pulling yourself upstairs by the banisters because the pain from your arthritis has been so intense, and that pain either reduces or actually disappears completely, and you walk upstairs effortlessly, that is life-changing. If you're somebody who's been struggling with sleep for years or months, and you take these and then you experience such a deep night's sleep and you wake up refreshed, rested, that is life-changing. We don't use that as a throwaway line. Taking a step back, if you're looking at getting involved in a business, you want to be sure that this is unique to you, and it is. Sizzling Minerals are made and are therefore unique to Simply Naturals. Of that you can rest assured. And finally, this statement sounds like a huge generalization where everyone needs it. Now, we're going to demonstrate that factually in this presentation, but just consider this. From a health point of view, it's tragic that that's the case. From a business point of view, you couldn't wish for anything better. So these are all reasons why this company is absolutely flying. So let's take a look at minerals themselves. Why minerals? What is it about minerals? Well, Dr. Linus Pauling, there's a big research institute that's named after him in the USA. He got 2 Nobel Prizes for his work, interestingly, with vitamins. But it wasn't until after that he started to ask questions about minerals and realized that was really where it was at with regards to his research. Now, when you read his statement, his conclusion, think about not just yourself, but your friends, your family, loved ones, work colleagues, anybody that you know, because this is the marketplace. This is how wide this applies to. It's every single human being. Linus Pauling came to the conclusion that you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. That is quite extraordinary, breathtaking in terms of its scope. In addition, Dr. Gary Price Todd, who's authored many books specifically on plant-derived minerals, came to the conclusion that our bodies need at least 60 minerals, not, note, for optimum health, but to maintain a disease and ailment-free state. On average, people are getting between 15 and maybe 25 minerals per day. So you can see there's already a huge shortfall. And on the next slide, you'll see what the consequences of that can be to our health. Let's have a look at what happens if you don't have sufficient levels of mineral. Well, long term, our bodies actually can't survive, so that's pretty drastic. But breaking it down, our immune system, for one. People will be struggling with coughs, colds, bugs, picking up anything that's going on and around, and seemingly constantly struggling with that kind of thing. It's true to say that people taking sizzling minerals just have a sense of confidence because they feel strong. That's your immune system, and which is why we seem to be catching way less than most other people. Healthy bones. Of course, bones are made from calcium, a primary mineral. There's so much in our day-to-day diet that leaches calcium out, which causes osteoporosis for one, which is debilitating and painful. Enzyme function, basically we're talking about digestive system. The amount of people that actually don't realize that their digestive system is not working properly. And then when they start taking sizzling minerals, will produce, shall we say, solid evidence to tell them that they're back on track. Balanced pH. pH is something which naturally our bodies are just in an alkaline state. There's a school of thought that says that if we go into the acidic world, then that enables disease to take hold. So the body needs to maintain its pH balance. And again, if there's an absence of minerals, it finds itself very, very hard to do so. Cellular health, you're talking about trillions of cells. Each one of our cells generates energy. Now, it's kind of like if you're missing on minerals, like having the battery terminals oxidized, so there is a reduction in the amount of energy that is generated, therefore tiredness, etc., etc. So every single area of these is what is impacted by a lack of sufficient minerals. And then this final statement is what Linus Pauling also discovered, that without minerals, vitamins cannot be absorbed by the body and are virtually useless. So the amount of people that are taking supplements, predominantly vitamins, and actually they might as well just chuck their money straight into the bin because their body's not absorbing any of it due to the lack of minerals. This phrase, subclinical disease, may be new to you, but nonetheless, it's something which is recognized in the medical world, and it's kind of pre anything that is able to be diagnosed. It's when people might just not be feeling right. So it ends up transforming into, for instance, as you can see here, things like heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis. But that is after many years of dealing with a symptomless disease, which is, if you like, forming and in the process of becoming something else. Subclinical disease starts where there are no actual symptoms as such. It's when the body is beginning to head off into a direction that is detrimental towards your health. Stage 2, you can get things like allergies, headaches, tiredness, painful or swollen joints. Now, not every time that you get a headache or an allergy, I would stress, is that a stage 2 symptom, but these are the kind of things that can appear. Stage 3 is when it begins to manifest into some recognizable form. Now, the bad news is that plant mineral deficiency is a major cause of this. The good news is plant mineral deficiency is a major cause of this. And the reason it's good news is because it is easily rectified simply by taking high quality plant derived minerals. Go to simplynaturals.com. There's fantastic information there on an audio supplied by Dr. Bender and his unique outlook on not just health, but also how you can prevent illness. So many people are suffering with all sorts of things. You've got, as we've mentioned before, subclinical disease, but many things here where people are on piles and piles of prescription drugs. And what isn't mentioned here is the side effects of those prescription drugs themselves. And they're taking all of these remedies and nothing is working. You wonder why. Well, again, going back to what happens with mineral deficiency, it could well be that that is the fundamental cause. Now, I said to you earlier on that we will prove to you that everyone needs it. You should be shocked by these figures in front of you right now. Now, these figures are put together by the World Health Organization, UK Ministry of Agriculture, UNICEF, etc., etc. This is not a marketing gimmick. These are internationally respected and regarded health organizations. And you can also see that this is not a fly-by-night survey. It's been taking place over about 100 years. But look at the results. Due to over-farming, the mineral depletion in Europe is around 72%. The UK is top of that league. We're a small island, overpopulated, overfarmed. We don't rest the soil. We don't put back in what we take out. Think about it. Every single time a crop comes out of the ground, those plants have taken minerals with them. So the ground gets more depleted. But look at North America, good old USA, 85% depletion, and in some cases 100%. In some cases there are no minerals left in the soil at all. So you might be sitting there feeling a bit smug, thinking, well, I eat organic, so I'm all right. Well, it's no longer the case that an apple a day will keep the doctor at bay, because when you've got a reduction in iron of 96%, a reduction of magnesium of over 82%, and other minerals, as you can see here, then there is not a lot of goodness left in your apple. The point is not whether it's organic or non-organic. The point is that the soil that all of these are coming out from is desperately, desperately depleted. So this is more shocking news from this excellent book, Naked Calories. They have calculated that people eating a standard American diet would need to consume nearly 28,000 calories per day in order to take in a micronutrient, in other words, primarily mineral intake, which according to the FDA is based on just 27 micronutrients per day. That will be nowhere near the minimum 60 minerals that we're talking about, and will be designed to just keep the body ticking over. Of that, I have no doubt. And the tragedy of this is that people who are struggling with obesity will normally be buying cheaper food, cheaper mass-produced food, and they will be eating big quantities of it because they're starving for the very nutrients that they're looking for. The irony of it is that they're consuming huge amounts of food and they're starving. That is absolutely tragic. So if it's not in the ground, and it's not in our food, and it's not in our bodies, then where on earth, quite literally, do we go? Well, where we go is back in time, 75 million years ago, to what is known as a prehistoric vegetate, which means that it's not fossilized, it's not rock, and that's the significance. To when Brontosaurus used to roam the land, to when trees had leaves the size of bus shelters, and the soil was abundant with minerals, absolutely abundant. So we have this as our source, and we extract this using pure water. We dry it out over a period of time, having filtered it first, and end up with our effervescent, sizzling minerals, which is affordable pretty much to everybody. To give you an idea, 1 month's supply, as I said, you get 2 tubes with 30 tablets that come in. Most people will take 1 per day. Those 2 tubes, if you were to buy a one-off order, it's £28.97. But remember, we need 60 minerals at least, and that should be in our food. So you don't take minerals and go, right, that's it, I'm mineralized up. This is something that our body needs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So to make this more affordable, the company has an auto ship system whereby you get it for £23.97. You can stop your auto ship at any stage, by the way. So it's not £1 a day. It's just about 80 pence per day, which, given the cup of coffee scenario, pretty much everybody can afford that. Each tablet contains 75 pure plant minerals. 60, as you'll remember, prevents illness. 75 takes you into a different league. The colorings that we've got, it says no colors. The colors that we've got are actually natural plant colors, fruit and vegetable colors. Vegans, vegetarians can take them, as can people of all ages. We have elderly who sometimes will break them in half, put half in a glass of water in the morning and sip that, half in the glass of water in the afternoon and sip that. Similarly, when you have young people taking these energy drinks that are just designed to fry the adrenal system. Why are they taking energy drinks? Because they don't have the amount of minerals that they need. Give them these minerals instead of the energy drinks and just notice what occurs. So you've heard this phrase, plant-derived minerals, many times. Why? What's different about this when you can go into the high street and possibly buy things that would appear to be cheaper? Well, the next slide will demonstrate this perfectly. It's the size of the molecules. When you compare a mineral that is from a metallic molecule, it's like comparing a football to a pinhead, which is that of a plant mineral. And the difference and relevance of this is that the plant mineral is 7,000 times smaller than a human blood cell, which means that the human body can absorb everything that it needs. When you then consider that taking metallic or chelated minerals, your body might absorb 10 to 20% of these, and you'll be buying 2 or 3 or 4 pots of calcium, for instance, iron, and 2 or 3 others at 7 to 15 pounds per pot, and your body's only going to absorb at the most 20% of those. You compare and add all of that up to our wafers, which have 75 minerals in each wafer, which the body absorbs 100% of for only 80p per day, and the price comparison, frankly, goes straight out of the window. It's important to note that Simply Naturals do not claim to cure anything with these sizzling minerals. What seems to occur is that when people ingest these minerals, something happens to their immune systems and their body's remarkable ability to heal itself. Interestingly too, it seems to send it in the direction that it's required. Said at the beginning that this is a life-changing product. We have people that are taking this. One lady has taken this, she had ME, and within 24 hours, rather than taking an hour and a half to get out of bed, she was up and about after 10 minutes. Similarly, we have people who are struggling to sleep for whatever reason, and upon taking sizzling minerals, they find that they have a deep quality of sleep, waking up fully rested. As a byproduct, we have other people that are taking these and their acne clears up. We have people who have been struggling with arthritic pain and suddenly their pain is either reduced or disappeared altogether. Similarly, we have people type 1 and type 2 diabetics that are reporting a reduction or a complete cancelling of their medication. Also, people that struggle with blood pressure, whether interestingly it be high or low, upon taking these after a few months, are experiencing that their blood pressure is totally and utterly normal. So it is remarkable what's going on. And on the other hand, maybe it's not, given that if when we have insufficient minerals, our body starts to go skewy, then this may be just a simple correction. It's the body's ability to heal itself, which is what is truly remarkable. It's no real surprise that we're now getting endorsements from people in the healthcare profession, therapists of all kinds, including beauty therapists as well, who are noticing that their clients are experiencing greater hair growth, clearer skin, and stronger nails. So endorsements are coming right the way across the board. This testimonial from Ken Anderson really says it all. One point I would add here is that you cannot deal with sports people at this level and give them anything that doesn't have positive effects. The other thing to also mention at this point is that Simply Naturals have been cleared by the international body that vets all nutritional products for world-class athletes. So world-class athletes and people who just play Sunday League football can take these, knowing that there is nothing untoward in these products for them to take. But let's look at this. Ken's saying, since being introduced to sizzling minerals several months ago, I have no hesitation in recommending this exceptional product. It is the ultimate health supplement for anyone who wishes to enhance and promote their general health and well-being. With 75 minerals in every wafer, it is beyond comparison and is by far the best product of its kind on the market today. Nothing really to add to that. If you go to seethevideos.com, you'll find a wide range of testimonials, some of them very moving, from people with a wide range of conditions. So it will give you an idea as well as to what these are being used for and who's benefiting from them. Now, it is the case that on occasions people won't notice any tangible physical benefits, but we had a Harley Street doctor who wanted to ensure that something was going on for his patients if he was to recommend these, and he took a series of blood samples, and this is what came back. In just 5 weeks, the blood transformed from what was flat, lazy, fairly stagnant, fairly grubby looking blood, if you can have such a thing, into healthy, round, vibrant blood cells in a far clearer solution. Now, the significance of this is that you're not likely to walk around within 5 weeks and go, do you know, I could swear that my blood's cleaner. But if you just consider this is what's going on in your blood, then imagine what's going on in all of your major organs, in your skin, in your bones, in your muscles, in your brain, in every single part of your body. In short, it would seem to be safe to say you cannot not benefit from taking these plant-based minerals. I need to warn you that parts of this commentary are rather shocking, but this is fundamentally why this company is in existence. Peter Willoughby there is the CEO, and he is the inspiration and the passion behind this business. Peter, at the age of 17, had a terrible accident. He was on a motorbike and was smashed into by a drunk driver in an HGV. Peter went through the windscreen, through the cockpit, out the back, landed in the road unconscious, whereupon in a panic this drunk driver put the lorry in reverse, drove over him, put it into first, drove over him again. Every part of his body, with the exception, would you believe, of his spine and his right arm, was crushed. Peter was on life support, having died twice on the table for 4 weeks when he came out, and later on was told that his prognosis was that by the time he was in his late 20s to early 30s, if he ever got out of his wheelchair, he would be back in it because they'd need to replace pretty much every joint, and his body would be racked with arthritis. Unbelievably, Peter was already big into sport, big into nutrition and health, so that's the path that he went down. He discovered Linus Pauling's work. He then tracked down a company that was selling plant-derived minerals, imported them for his own use for many, many years. If that wasn't enough, in the early 2000s, he came back from holiday with a cough that he couldn't shift, had an x-ray, which went to prove that he'd actually got something called an aneurysm on his heart, which is a huge balloon in the heart wall. The leading heart surgeon in the UK could not believe it, called him a freak of nature for 2 reasons. One is that if that aneurysm was 1 to 2 centimetres, he'd been in a lot of pain and he'd need to be operated on straight away. If it was 3 to 4 centimetres, he'd be in an excruciating level of pain and that would burst and he'd be dead by the end of the day. But somehow, inexplicably, his was 10.5 centimetres and he was feeling no pain at all. In addition, the heart surgeon swore blind that if somebody had said to him what was the age of the heart that he was looking at on this x-ray, he would have said that it was the heart of a 15-year-old because of the complete freedom of any build-up of anything within the arterial walls, and the blood flow and the tissue was perfect. The remarkable thing is Peter is now in his 50s and he's still walking unaided, no stick, no crutch and no wheelchair, with a heart in amazing condition. That is why this company is fueled by passion and 100% belief in spreading the word of plant-derived minerals. So by now you'll have a clear understanding as to why this company in its short history is exceeding all financial forecasts and is generating such a level of interest. In addition, what we're going to show you is more about the business side of things. People get involved in this because the bulk of people want to earn a few £100 extra a month. Many people will go on to create a full-time income from a part-time contribution, and you'll have some people that will go on to not just transform their financial future, but to create an extraordinary and exceptional quality of life, all of which we'll cover. First, though, what you want to be sure of is the market you're entering into is growing. And this market is for 2 primary reasons. The first is the baby boomers. The baby boomer generation, of which I am one, will pay anything to grab hold of the remnants of youth. And that is one habit that is causing a huge trend to not just happen with the baby boomers, but everybody behind it as well. The other thing is that there is a growing skepticism and a movement away from prescription drugs, and people are looking to take responsibility for their own well-being, primarily with natural products. Other reasons for people doing this business is wanting more time, for instance, with family. Or maybe just doing stuff that you really enjoy doing. Many people, of course, are really keen on the idea of travel. Now, one thing that you might want to consider is that at the moment, this company is in the UK and is in Ireland. We're also in Europe. So you can already travel to these places and take your business and build your business with you. 2015 will see us open up in the USA, and from there we'll go around the world, Australasia, Philippines, etc. So one of the benefits of being self-employed is that you have particular tax write-offs. So of course, while you're traveling building your business, you can offset some of that against tax, which is fantastic. So why is this company generating such a level of interest? Well, you've already looked at the expanding market and the fact that we're going around the world entering into that market. You've also got a clear idea now that we've got a product which is unique and also particularly is used by people on a monthly basis. They reorder, so your income increases every single month too, and the price that we sell it at knocks the spots off anything that's going on in the stores. Also, you might not be aware of this, but when a customer of yours orders over the internet on your website, then the product is sent directly from our warehouse to their home. So you are not involved in any of the hassle of stock. You don't need premises for that. You don't get tied up in the deliveries, and you don't get any of the headaches that is involved in taking on employees. So as a business model, this is absolutely perfect. In addition, the running costs, you couldn't wish for anything that is lower cost. The risk is absolutely minimal. You've got a product, as you've heard, that works and helps people, to the point that we have people phoning up who are also coming on to order our products because friends of theirs are either talking about it or looking and feeling so good. So those are very, very strong reasons. In addition, we'll come on to rewards and incentives, but they are really, really exciting, genuinely so. You've got a British-based company which has got a British culture, which is rather nice. You've also got training and support, not just from the parent company, but also find out who are building big businesses in your business, and they will undoubtedly be putting on trainings of their own. There is also a wealth of information on the internet that is well worth your while having a look at. Now, residual passive income. This is something which we're going to cover because this really is the holy grail. But this is something which will add and come on board as your business opens up around the world. And of course, in terms of the market timing, this business is new. We've gone nowhere so far, and you couldn't be in at a better time or a better place. So residual income or passive income is what I referred to as the holy grail, and here's why. You get a customer once and they go on auto ship, and that auto ship reorders every single month. You get a customer once, you get paid month after month after month. Examples of this, Paul McCartney is often hauled out because he's made hundreds of millions of pounds from royalties every single time he gets airplay. That's a really good example. Property rents, those kind of things are again, residual income. In other words, money that comes in once you've already done your work. Now, what that means is that as, for instance, we get into the States, it's quite possible that you end up with people that you've never even heard of who join your business as a customer or distributor in America. So what that means is that you'll wake up in the morning and you'll get a series of emails saying, hey, congratulations, your Simply customer has just purchased some sizzling minerals and there's an additional bonus. This is what knocks the spots off the traditional working method, because you're going to get a part-time job because you want to make £500. You have to keep showing up whatever that job is. With us, you get to a certain point with your customers, and if you wish to, you can then stop working because you know that the money is going to continue coming in. That is where you get real quality of life, because finally you get to say what you do with your time when you want to. Why we do this as a word of mouth thing is also very, very important and relevant. I remember when Harry Potter came out, you couldn't move for Harry Potter books, Harry Potter, I think it was cassettes in those days. Anyway, all that kind of stuff. The kids were talking about them. It was being played. It was being read. Parents were talking about it. It was massive. Now, that is a reason why. So, for instance, Captain Phillips, really good film. Went to see it. Wasn't really up for it. Great performance by Tom Hanks. But also, the guys that were the pirates had never acted before in their lives, and they were sensational. So, you know, it's like when people start talking about stuff with passion, you get to know it. When you take these minerals, if you also get the concept of plant-based minerals are essential to our health, and of course, if you're feeling energized, you're feeling good, you're looking better, that kind of thing, you're going to want people that you know to also take a look and try them for themselves. So here's a good question. How do I get customers? Well, it's as simple as handing people a brochure, this brochure, and asking them to read it and just let you know what they think. It's got a whole load of information in it which generates some questions. There's some key points which people find fascinating. In addition, you can just say to people, I want to give you something to try, give them some minerals and ask them to notice what they notice. We don't sell. This is not about pushing anything upon anybody. Coming back to the core mission, it's about educating people. And again, if you believe in sizzling minerals, you will want people to be taking them, which is why you just hand out information. That's what marketing is. Marketing is giving people information so they can make up their own minds rather than imposing something upon them. So let's start looking at how you can make some money in this business. When you register somebody as a new customer and they go onto AutoShip, you will get a one-off bonus for £10. And this is for people, by the way, who are ordering sizzling minerals. From there on in, you will get a residual income, an income being paid to you every single month. When you get to 6 people, when you found 6 people who order sizzling minerals on AutoShip within 60 days, so not a lot of people in a good period of time to do it in, you will get an additional £40. So those 6 people will have generated you £100 total in bonuses just for getting off to a good start, which is useful. When you get to a level of 50 customers that you've introduced, your monthly passive income will go up to a maximum of £5 per box. So 50 customers, £250 per month. 100 customers obviously is £500 a month. Now, 100 customers might sound like a bit, but if what you're doing is that you're handing out brochures, putting them through doors, etc., and that generates you £500 a month. For just doing that, that gives you £6,000 a year. And remember, once you've got those customers, you get to a place where you can go, right, I've got enough now. I'm going to stop for a while, stop permanently or whatever, because the income continues to roll in. That's where it knocks the spots off anything else that you could possibly do. So it's not just with regard to the passive income that this business model knocks the spots off anything else. Also, when you get to work smart, you really begin to see how the power of leverage actually kicks in. So let's say that you start building a team. You've been handing brochures out. People start asking you what it is that you're doing. You have 5 hours per week to put into your business. After a while, you get other people. Let's say that you've got 3 and they also have 5 hours that they can put in per week per person. So that's 20 hours going into marketing your business, because of course any business they get, you will also be making money from. After a period of time, they do the same. Look what happens. You get a group of people, all of whom are under you, and they combined with their 5 hours each are generating a total of 60 hours per week that is going into your business, even though you are only doing 5 hours yourself. That is where you really begin to work smart. In addition, of course, something that is really significant is that people genuinely are feeling good. There's a level of energy, a level of good fun that goes into this business because people are actually experiencing what it's like to feel well. Now, every time that you introduce a new distributor into your business, as somebody who themselves is going out and building their own business, you will also get a £10 bonus from them because they are also your customer. Plus, of course, you get the residual income coming in and month out. Now, here's something. As those people that start working within your business that you've introduced get just 2 customers in 60 days, which is nothing at all, you will get an additional £50 for having introduced them and for having coached and supported them. Now, in the early days, let's say that you're not sure what it is that you do. You then go to the person introduced you, or find who a significant business builder is in your team above you, and they will help and support you to build that. So it's not about you needing to know what you need to do from the word go. You work and you learn as you go along. And of course, every month you carry on getting residual income. It's such a great model. So this slide is stating the obvious, really, which is that the more that you do, the more your business will return. It's as simple as that. There's a position called manager, which doesn't mean anything to you, but it's not difficult to achieve. It just takes persistence. You can do that within a few months. But even if you do it in a year or 2 years, at some point when you get to manager, you'll get an additional £500, not based on any length of time at all. The incentives that we've got going are impressive in themselves. it's not unrealistic at all to expect that you might have a new car sitting on your driveway within the first year of doing this business on a part-time basis. 2014 saw 7 people from a standing start generate new cars on this car plan. It starts at £300 and it goes way up to, at the moment, up to £4,000. In addition, we've got a mortgage plan, which I must stress is at the top end of the pay plan, but it just demonstrates that there is something here at all levels for anybody to aspire to. So it really is something well worth going for. So let's look at how you get team members, people in your business. Well, we have a green brochure for the products. We have a blue brochure for people who are interested in business. And again, it is designed so simply. You hand people the brochure and ask them what they think. It's as simple as that. If you can give people a brochure, in effect, you can do this business. In addition, this brochure is available on simplybizbrochure.com. So you can also send this link straight to people who are not in your locality so they can go online and find out for themselves. So it's cost effective, it's fast, it gives people the ability to really look up what's going on with Simply Naturals and make up their own mind. Looking into the future, those that get involved will grow customer bases of hundreds, possibly thousands of customers within their business and probably around the world. So what happens is that every single month the customer receives products from our warehouse, and within the box they also get marketing materials. For instance, right now they're getting stuff for our highly potent vitamin C and also for our krill oil. If you know about krill oil, omega-3, you can't get anything more potent in terms of anti-inflammatory and really good food for your brain. So people are now ordering these products. Vitamin C, by the way, in terms of busting up bugs and allergen, all that kind of stuff, you can't beat it. So they're already ordering these products. What happens is that as a distributor, you will then get an email congratulating you on a customer having bought vitamin C or krill oil, which you won't know anything about. But because you have got that customer in months, maybe years ago, you are now being rewarded and thanked with additional ongoing monthly bonuses, because guess what? These are also on auto ship. So it means that you've got the potential of expanding your profit base without doing anything extra for it. So what's possible if you join this business right now? Well, if you go outside and you talk to 5 of your friends, 10 of your friends, chances are none of them will have heard about Simply Naturals and none of them will have heard about plant-derived minerals. So that is just an indication as to how wide open this market is. We're at the pioneering stage. It's a blank canvas. You set your sights as you wish to. In addition, you will also get the experience of fundamental satisfaction, which it's tough to believe that you can get it in a job. So you'll have people that you have introduced to minerals who will be thanking you because they're no longer in pain or because they've got increased energy or whatever it might be. In addition, there will be people that will begin to feel hopeful because what they're doing is they're beginning to create small and increasing levels of income, and they can see that there's a point whereby actually the quality of their life improves. So the combination of those two possibilities is profoundly rewarding, and that's a large reason, if not the entire reason, why people will do this business. In addition, for now, you've got access to the original management team and their expertise. And I say for now because we're expanding at a rate. So these guys, obviously, their time is going to get more and more stretched, but you can actually contact direct, get emails answered, etc., by the setup team themselves. The market itself, as I've explained before, is busting wide open. So you've got access to something which is just growing and growing. In addition, with regards to yourself, and it's essential that you think of yourself, that's why people get involved in this too, is that your financial situation will improve. From whether that's a few £100s a month, which, as I said before, you can get in, and if you choose to, you can then stop. That's where this knocks the spots off needing to get a part-time job. Or you go to the other extreme whereby you actually go, do you know what? I want absolute quality of life, because number 6 is when that really occurs. Point 6 is incredibly significant, and it's because, let's say that you're going for £300, £400, £500 a month to make a difference. Pay the bills, know that you can get the car fixed, go on holiday, whatever it is. But the fact is that with this model, you can get to a point where you've got that money coming in month in, month out. Whereas most people, the option is to go and get a part-time job that they have to go and work 10, 12, 15 hours a week in order to make the same kind of money. But that's week in and week out. So to not have that aggravation after a while is a huge reward. For those that decide that what they want to do is completely step off the job ladder, to be able to determine day by day what you do with your time, because you've got passive residual income coming in, gives you a level of, I think, self-respect, but certainly control. Nobody else has a say in how you live your life. The fact that companies deign to give you 3, maybe 4 weeks holiday a year, so that's the only time that you have. But even then, you have to get your holiday time in early ahead of everybody else or negotiate around people. So you don't truly have a say in what you do with your time. This delivers quality of life unlike anything else that you can do. Point 7. There's an opportunity to earn shares within this business. We've had 2 share options already that have been very successful. And what it means is that people are already sitting there with share options that upon fruition will generate them levels of wealth, which it's not to say they're inconceivable, but they are considerable in addition to the income that they get already. So again, financial security giving you a real sense of security in life. The incentives you've already seen. Cars, the car plan goes up to £4,000, which is an extraordinary sum of money. The mortgage plan, as I said earlier on, is when you get to the top end of the scale. But you've got scope here for somebody to be working this business part-time and within the end of their first year to have a new car sitting on the drive paid for is not beyond reason at all. In 2014, with a new business, we had 7 people part-time, every one of them, that qualified for the car plan. You've got powerful training and support from this company, both from the company itself, also from individuals who will be in your business or you'll be in their business. Find out who they are, find out what they're putting on. They are looking for people who want to ask questions and who want to get to work. So be open with them and encouraged by the fact that you are what they're looking for. In addition, there's a wealth of information and training available on the internet, on YouTube in particular. Check that out. The world leading pay plan right now won't mean anything to you if you're new to this concept. But rest assured, one of the huge benefits is that these guys, having had the level of success that they've had and being involved in this industry, they know what makes a plan work, and above all else, what is fair and reasonable to the distributors involved. So you will find along the way how extraordinary that is in favor of distributors. So that's it. That's the end of the presentation. It's been a lot of information, but I would imagine there are 2 things possibly that you might want to do now. One is, if you're not already on the minerals, to try them, put an order in and get taking these minerals and share them with your family. The other is that there will probably be questions that you want to ask. So talk to the person that asked you to have a look at this and find out whatever it is that you need to find out with regards to your questions. Now, it may be that they themselves are brand new to this. So again, what we do is that we learn while we're on the job. So they will go and find out, or the 2 of you can go and find out from a business builder who's got more experience what the answers to these questions are. Either way, it has been a lot of information. I would hope that you can see that this product is something which is genuinely causing a stir, and also that the potential with regards to this business is really very exciting. Either way, thank you so much for your time, and whatever your choices, we wish you well. Thank you again. Bye-bye.